Welcome back to the deep dive. We spend so much time learning about, well, the whole world, but today we're doing a deep dive into something a bit closer to home.
Literally.
Literally, how to describe the place we live, our home, our neighborhood, in a way that feels, I don't know, real, not just a list of objects.
It's such a common thing to talk about,
Yeah.
but it's actually pretty hard to do well. Most of us just stop at, I live in a small apartment.
Right.
But we're going way beyond that. Our mission today is to dig into the vocabulary, the structure, and the emotional side of it, all from our source material. We want to give you these little nuggets you can use to sound, well, to sound alive when you're talking about your home.
And the material we're synthesizing today, it's all from these fantastic, really practical guides. They're all about fluent English.
And they guide you perfectly. You start inside, then move to the neighborhood, and finally you get to imagine your dream home.
So think of this as a shortcut. We're giving you the essence of it, not just an inventory list. Mm. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's start with the foundations. I mean, before you can talk about the vibe or the feeling, you need the basic facts, right?
Exactly. You have to start with the absolute basics. Is it a house, an apartment, or maybe a flat?
And that's an interesting one right there. Flat versus apartment.
It is. Linguistically, it's a huge tell. Flat is what you'll hear all across the UK. It's the standard. But in the US, it's apartment, almost always.
So just knowing which word to use can make you sound more natural depending on who you're talking to.
Instantly. And once you've said what it is, you have to ground it. So where is it?
If you're in a building, you'd say the floor, right? I live on the 5th floor.
Yep. Or more broadly, I live in a small town near London. Or, I'm right downtown.
But here's the first little nugget, the first upgrade. You don't just want to give the address.
No, you want to describe the atmosphere around it. Immediately. Is it quiet? Is it bustling? So you add that little phrase.
I live in a quiet neighborhood.
Or, I live right in the city center. And that one little phrase, it just tells you so much about a person's life right away.
And that idea of lifestyle, it leads us right to what I think is the superstar adjective of this whole topic. It just kept coming up in the sources.
Oh, I know which one you mean.
Cozy.
Yes. It's indispensable. You can't do without it. Because it's so much more than just warm or comfortable.
It's a feeling.
It's a whole feeling. It implies this snugness, a personal shelter. It's like linguistic shorthand for feeling safe and happy.
That's brilliant. And then the next step is to prove it. You can't just say cozy. You have to back it up with evidence.
You link specific things to the feeling. It's not just, I have a lamp. It's
the soft lights from the lamp.
Exactly. It's not just, I have a sofa. It's my favorite blanket is on the sofa. It's those little details, the plants, the texture of a rug that paint a picture.
Yeah, you stop listing inventory and you start, connecting emotionally.
Right. And that lets you describe totally different places with the same positive feeling.
You could have a tiny, cozy city apartment where everything has to be, super organized. And then you could have a bigger house outside the city with maybe a peaceful little garden. Both can be cozy, but the details make them completely different worlds.
Okay, so we've set the scene from the outside. We know if it's lively or quiet, and we've given it a feeling, maybe it's cozy. So now, how do we prove it once we step inside?
We have to go room by room, but not, an exhaustive tour. We focus on the core areas: living room, kitchen, bedroom, bathroom.
Because that's where life happens.
That's where daily life happens. And the goal is clarity and style. So something like, my apartment has a small but modern kitchen and a bright living room. That says so much more than listing every single appliance.
Okay, let's start with the living room. That's usually the personality hub of a home.
For sure. And you need that basic vocabulary. Use a sofa or couch.
Which are pretty much interchangeable. Yeah, totally. Then coffee table, bookshelf, maybe a rug or curtains. But the key, and this really stood out, is adding one little detail.
Specificity.
Don't just say, I have a sofa. Say, I have a big gray sofa in the living room. Just adding size or color brings it to life.
Instantly. Okay, so what about the kitchen? The language there feels a bit different.
It does. It shifts from, aesthetic to functional. The keywords are all about utility. Stove, fridge, sink, counter, cabinets.
And here, the sources suggest using verbs, right? Talk about what you do there.
Yes. That's such a great tip. Instead of just describing it, say, I cook dinner here every evening, or I wash the dishes right after eating. It makes it active.
And this was my personal aha moment from the research. The best advice was about using sensory language.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
This is the game changer.
It really is. Forget the technical stuff for a second. To make a kitchen feel real, use your senses. So don't just say there's a window. Say,
My kitchen is incredibly bright because there's a big window.
or that one phrase that just stuck with me, it always smells like coffee in the morning.
Boom. I'm there. I'm in your kitchen.
Exactly. You've just teleported your listener into your home.
And that's the difference between a textbook and a real conversation. And to do that, you need a good, accessible bank of adjectives.
Let's lay out that toolkit. For positive descriptions, the heavy hitters are bright, which just means full of light,
Spacious, big, and open, tidy.
clean and organized, and then modern for stylish, or its opposite, traditional,
Yeah.
for that old but charming feel.
And of course, comfortable. But we have to be real. Sometimes places aren't perfect.
So you need the other side too. Things can be messy or dark or noisy, not to complain, just to be accurate.
Exactly. Using those words lets you paint a quick picture. My living room is bright and spacious. Or the dining room is traditional. Lots of old wooden furniture.
Ooh, and speaking of furniture, that's a quick grammar point we should mention.
A very important one.
The word furniture itself.
Right. It's an uncountable word in English, so you never say furnitures. It's always some furniture or a lot of furniture.
It seems like a small thing, but getting it right makes you sound so much more fluent.
It really does.
And before we leave the inside, the bathroom, it's usually simple.
Just the necessities.
Yeah.
Is it a bathtub or a shower? You got the sink, mirror, toilet, and you can add a touch of feeling. The tiles are white or it feels fresh and bright.
So to tie all these objects and rooms together, what's the best grammatical structure?
Oh, the simple workhorse phrases. There is, for one thing, and there are, for more than one. There is a small table in the kitchen. There are 2 windows in my bedroom.
It's simple, but it gives your description a really clear, easy-to-follow structure. Okay, so we've mapped the inside. Now we step outside the front door. This is where your home connects to the rest of the world, the neighborhood.
And just like with the inside, you start with atmosphere. You need those key adjectives to describe what life is like outside your door.
So is your neighborhood lively? Full of energy, cafes, maybe shops?
Or is it the opposite? Is it quiet and green, lots of trees, maybe a park?
Or it could be busy, but in a good way, because it feels safe and friendly.
Contrasting those makes it so much richer. You can say, my neighborhood is pretty lively. There are a lot of cafes I can walk to.
Versus, my neighborhood is really quiet and green, and I love walking in the park nearby.
And to really anchor your home in that setting, you have to mention the connection points.
Right, like, there's a great park near my house, or there are 2 schools in my neighborhood, so it gets a little noisy around 3 p.m.
Exactly. And to make those connections super clear, you have to master prepositions of place.
These are the little words that do all the work. Next to, near, across from, behind, in front of.
If you can get those 5 down, your descriptions become so practical. The bus stop is right in front of my building.
There's a bakery across from my apartment, which is maybe not such a good thing.
Yeah, a little dangerous. But you can even stack them. There's a cafe next to my house, and the train station is just behind it.
Is there a common mistake people make? Like, is next to the same as near?
That's a great question. Near is more general. The store is near my house. It could be a few blocks away. Next to means right beside it.
So it's more precise.
Much more precise. And that precision is key when you get to giving directions.
Ah, yes. The moment you actually invite someone over.
The essential movement words are simple. Go straight, turn left, turn right.
But the real insight from the sources was to not just use street names, use landmarks.
Yes. Make visual, say, go past the supermarket, or turn right after you see that big park. It's so much easier to follow.
And don't forget those really specific location descriptions people use all the time.
Like what?
Like, my apartment is above the bakery, or my house is the one right on the corner of Main and Oak.
Yes. That's how people actually talk. It makes your English sound so much more natural and confident.
Okay.
So now that we've covered all the functional language, all the nuts and bolts, we can move to the next level. This is about personality, imagination, even culture.
Because describing your home is really describing yourself, isn't it?
It absolutely is. It reveals your style. Are you a minimalist? Simple, uncluttered spaces.
Or are you the opposite? A space that's colorful and busy with books and art and decorations everywhere.
You can just say that. I prefer dark wooden furniture. Or I really like a clean, modern design. It says so much.
And talking about your style is amazing practice. You have to pull together all those adjectives and structures we've been talking about.
And there's no better way to practice that fluency than with the ultimate tool our sources suggested, the dream home exercise.
This is where it all comes together. You take all the vocabulary, the feelings, the rooms, the adjectives, and you build a fantasy.
Right, so like, my dream home would be a small, sort of rustic wooden cabin, deep in the mountains,
I can picture it.
and it would have a huge fireplace
Yeah.
and big windows facing the forest, so it's always bright inside. And the bedroom would be small, but just incredibly cozy.
See? You just used everything. Material, light, feeling, location. It's all in there.
It flows naturally when you're imagining it.
Okay, my turn. I'd go the complete opposite way. My dream home is an apartment near the sea. Huge balcony, floor-to-ceiling windows.
Ah, the view.
All about the view. And the kitchen would be super sleek and modern, minimalist, no clutter. And the balcony has to be big enough for friends, looking out at the ocean.
And just by doing that, you're practicing that structure my dream home would be, and then you're forced to add all those great details.
And using your imagination like that, it makes the language feel real. It also connects to that final big idea.
A cultural connection.
Right. What does the way we describe our homes tell us about our culture or our values?
It tells us everything. I mean, what we choose to highlight,
Yeah.
even the rules we follow. It all has a deeper meaning. The sources mentioned the simple act of taking off your shoes at the door.
Which is common in so many cultures.
And it immediately tells you that cleanliness and respect for the home are huge values. So you might describe that space as, immaculately clean.
On the other hand, in a lot of Western homes, you see personal photos and art everywhere.
And that emphasizes individuality,
Mm.
right? Personality, family history. So your description would naturally focus more on the books on the shelf or the unique painting in the hall.
So to pull this whole journey together, we started inside with the rooms and that powerful feeling of cozy.
Then we moved outside to the neighborhood and how to give directions.
And finally, we used our imagination to bring it all together and to understand that every description is really a little piece of our personal culture. So when all is said and done, what's the main lesson here? What do we want you to walk away with?
For me, it's that English isn't just about learning words for things. It's about connecting those words to emotions, to your lifestyle.
The big takeaway is to focus on being clear and confident. Don't aim for, this impossible idea of perfection.
Exactly. Confidence is what really drives fluency.
So to put this into practice right now, we have a challenge for you, for the listener. This is based on the exercises in the sources.
Yep.
I want you to describe your current home out loud in English, using 5 detailed sentences. Mix it all up. The structure, the feeling, the description.
Okay, so an example might be, I live in a traditional house near the city center. That's 1. My kitchen is very small, but it smells like fresh bread every morning. 2,
That's a good one.
there are 2 big windows in the living room, which makes it bright and spacious. 3, my neighborhood is lively with a nice park nearby. 4, and then my dream home would have a wooden deck facing the ocean. 5.
Perfect. Practice that until it just flows.
And before we go, let's leave you with one final thought to chew on.
We've talked about the walls, the view, the furniture, but what does home actually mean to you?
The sources gave some really strong definitions, like home means comfort and being able to be truly yourself.
Or home means peace and feeling safe.
Doesn't matter if it's a huge house or a tiny apartment.
Your home doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to feel like you.
And that is the essential deep dive into describing your space.
Thank you for joining us. We hope you feel a little more confident, ready to share your world, one specific sensory sentence at a time. Until next time.